So Super Auto Pets got an update, adding the unrollable animals to the achievement list, meaning all stars like the bus, the bee, and the zombie fly can now get their recognition, and I believe they'll show up on the Hall of Fame once you actually complete the challenge. For this run, I thought the bus would be the easiest pet to use. It's a tier 4 5/5 pet with the tier 5 upgrade splash attack. It can break any pre-existing melon armors and has a good chance to kill any scorpions behind the main target. For the first round, I bought a mosquito first, then an otter to boost the mosquito, and then I froze an ant to roll one more time, check for another otter, didn't get it, and the naughty eyes were on their way. Standard start, my mosquito would have been best to hit anyone but the pig, and it was best if their mosquito hit my otter. If it hit my ant, it'd be best if the ant boosted the otter. Of course, that's not what happened though. Round 2 I had a hard time in the shop, but decided it was best to pick up a fish, take another otter, accidentally combine instead of having 2 otters, and pick up a pig just to sell later. The enemy was the Sticky Scallywags, composed of a fish and his posse of pigs. I felt confident and didn't even watch. Let's see what happens. Incredible. In the third shop I had a hard time deciding what to buy and what to sell. I ended up selling the majority of my team, didn't feel like running with just 3 people and an apple, so I bought a swan. It was a tough looking fight. I couldn't really tell who I was going to hit with the mosquito, couldn't really tell who to hit with the ant or not, and it ended up actually going really well. Mosquito did really well, swan actually cleaned up in the end. It was really good. Here I picked up a dog, got another swan, combined it to get the dog in, froze one swan, froze an otter, hoped that when I got to buy on next turn, the otter would boost the dog, and search for an opponent. The Naughty Eyes ran into a tough opponent. They had a 7/8 fish, a 4/5 otter, they had the ram or sheep, and then they had a dog behind it. I didn't really know if I was going to win this one. They also had a honey on there, which made it a really tough contest. Luckily, the swan once again comes through. I sold the camel, and it took a bit of the thinking, but I decided to sell the mosquito, bring in the otter. Unfortunately, the inverse what happened last time happened, and I instead brought in a second otter instead of combining it. Decided to just combine them anyways. If I get 2 more otters, I can get a level 3 faster, bring in a second swan, proc the dog, combine the swans, and get a very, very lucky roll in getting the tier 4 monkey, and that just changed the game for me. Now with the giraffe, at the end of every turn, the dog is going to get a +3 bonus. At this point, it's still not fully optimized. We're still looking to get some weak opponents at this time, and we still haven't gotten to the point where I can get the bus. As expected, we got rolled instead of rolling the enemy. The badge is really strong. What do you want me to say? So here we see a bit of dumb decisions followed by a bit of luck. I sell the giraffe, get a dog, combine the dogs, get a bad roll, re-roll, get garlic armor, see the sheep, realize I have to put the sheep in the second slot, and if I want the dog to get his boost, then I have to put him in the third slot, put the otter up front, forgetting entirely about the monkey. Monkey then boosts the otter. It's kind of fine. I hope that the otter can stay until he's level 3. Then we get to this enemy. The sheep gets sniped. I'm already worried. The dog gets his +1 bonus. I take out one guy, hit, left with 1 HP. The kangaroo's getting strong. Now it has melon armor. The dog takes him down to 1 HP, and then we get swept after that. The swan can't really keep up at this point. He's not scaling himself. Now we have tier 4. We can finally get the deer to show up, and then we have a pill here. And I'm about to make the dumbest decision that I have made with it, because I was dedicated to the bus at the start, but it just completely left my mind for a bit. I'm thinking about the server, don't even think about the deer. I sell the otter, I pit the sleeping pill onto the sheep to get 2 bonuses to my dog. I realize at this point I can combine them. I can't really get them to level 3 unless I get more sheep. which it's just such an unlikelihood. I get a snail, buy it, sell it, get a turtle here, which I decided to put in there because if I can get some melon armor onto the ram, maybe something good can happen. I get 2 canned foods, that's pretty fine, and I decided that's probably the best I can get at this point, so I just take them both. We had a tough fight with the peacock already having double-digit stats, a whale taking the sheep, getting 1 ram, a horse at level 2, and then obviously a dog. To me, it looked more like as long as the dog didn't get any health boost, we would be fine. The bee comes in, the dog takes it out, takes 1 damage, because we were smart, got lucky, got garlic armor. And as long as the swan can still do its 8 damage to the dog, and we don't have to rely on the monkey doing 5 for a draw, it was going to look good, and we were going to win. And that's exactly what happened. In this fight, I was worried because the ant was taking out the bus, the splash attack wasn't taking out the fish, and a peacock looks bad enough, but then there's a bison behind it, already at double digits. Luckily, the front of my team is just strong enough to get my dog up to fight a peacock, then he can beat the bison, leaving easy pickings for my swan. Now, due to bad decisions at the start, worse decisions throughout, I'm heading into this fight with an incredibly underpowered team, still with its back to the wall in most of its fights. I really have very little choices here. Now my team meets its maker, the gushing balls. A strong turtle, a strong dog, a strong crab. I wish I could say it was a close fight, but it really wasn't. Maybe next time I'll get the bus strategy going, and I won't make as many mistakes as I did this time.